All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the breakdown of chapter 59, section A, the setting of the murder. This is your first taste of translating Cicero. This is from a speech he gave in defense of Milo after the murder of Clodius. So everything, you can unpack a lot here. I know in junior English, you guys cover a lot of rhetoric or public speaking. So a lot of what Cicero does here is done intentionally to make Clodius look bad and Milo look good. All right, let's just get into the translation. This will be a brief video. Meanwhile, since Clodius knew, and that's a cum causal clause when you translate cum as since, sciret is in the imperfect subjunctive. Meanwhile, since Clodius knew, and then in this little aside here, most of you got this, for it was not, enum is for it was not difficult to know. And then you get all this goes together. The traditional, proper, and necessary route. Iter is route or path. There's no and here, so I just put that in because that's the only way to really make it sound reasonable. But the once again, the traditional, proper, and necessary route. That's called asyndeton, when you intentionally leave out a conjunction like and. All right, you may have covered that in junior English. Asyndeton. Excuse me. All right. And then here, I had you guys try to figure out what this date is. And the calends is always the first of the month. So tre decimum means 13th. And a few of you were able to get that. But so you would say on the 13th day before the calends of February. On the 13th day before the calends of February. Which I think works out to January 17th-ish. Not sure about that. But anyway, on the 13th day before the calends of February, they give this to you in the note that Milo had to make. To Lanuvium. And back to this real quick. Literally, esses from the verb to be. Literally, it's that there was for Milo. So it's kind of assuming a lot to say that Milo had to make out of this. So maybe at the end here, I'll put it more literal, that there was for Milo to Lanuvium for the purpose of appointing a priest. And this is a gerundive clause. We covered this before the National Latin exam. You see the ND here. This phrase also appeared in the previous chapter, word for word, for the purpose of appointing a priest. Because Milo was the dictator of Lanuvium. And this came up in the last chapter. It's not dictator like you would think of it. Hold on, let me pause. You can find pause. All right, sorry about that. All right, so because Milo was the dictator of Lanuvium. Subito, suddenly, from Rome, he himself, this part's a little weird, suddenly from Rome, he himself set out Pridier on the day before. Suddenly from Rome, he himself set out on the day before. So, according to Cicero, Clodius departed the day before Milo. He knew Milo would be setting out. All right. Oot. There's a purpose clause so that, and this is a this is like the big claim here by Cicero, so that he might he might establish or set up an ambush for Milo. They give that to you in the note. So that he might set up an ambush for Milo, ante suum fundum, in front of his estate. And we didn't know that before, but I guess this all went down in front of Clodius's property belonging to Clodius. So in front of his estate, and then this little aside here, they give this to you, literally, which was learned from the event. Ray here is from the event or from the situation, which was learned from the situation. And he departed in such a way. I think I told you to do it in such a way. And he departed in such a way that, and this is a result clause. So you had two of your really basic subjunctive constructions here in a row. You had a purpose clause, ut, followed by the subjunctive, so that he might establish or set up an ambush, and he set out in such a way that, and now it's a result clause, that a turbulentum contionem, that a rowdy meeting in which his furor, his rage, was desired. So what this is in reference to is that Clodius, I guess, according to Cicero, was known for having these rowdy meetings where you would get the crowd in a frenzy, like you might see at a political rally or something like that. So he's kind of painting the picture that Clodius is an aggressive politician, known for getting a crowd kind of crazy, and known for being aggressive and violent, at least violent with his words. So anyway, that a rowdy meeting in which his rage was desired, which was referring to the meeting, which was held on that day itself. Ilo ipso die, all goes together, which was held on that day itself. Ipso is itself, ilo that. He left. All right, there's your subjunctive verb. It's imperfect subjunctive. He left. So he left a meeting where everybody was excited about him being there. His rage was desired. And so he left abruptly. All right, so it's suspicious. Which, and this is also referring to the meeting. So, there's a lot of witnesses that would have been here at this, gathering. I'm assuming it's like a political rally, and Clodius suspiciously left it. So Cicero is implying here that he left to go set up this ambush. He knew where Milo would be. That was all established in the beginning. And he left to set up an ambush, insidias, which is one of our earlier Latin loanwords, coming back here. And so, this is all trying to prove intent, which a lot of criminal cases come down to. You need to prove intent to murder. Okay. Oh, I got to pause. On the dog crate. All right. Sorry about that. So, which was held on that day itself, and on that day itself, meaning the day of the murder. So, which was held on that day itself, he left, which, unless, and they give a lot of this part to you, unless he had wished, that's pluperfect subjunctive, which unless he had wished to appear, or to be at, which unless he had wished to appear At the place and time of the crime, he never would have left. He never would have left. So right away, Cicero establishes his case that Clodius suspiciously left a meeting. So a lot of witnesses would have known this. And he's claiming that he never would have left this meeting unless he had meant to appear at the spot where he knew Milo would be in order to set up an ambush for him. So I'm sure you guys have seen court cases in TV and movies, but what he's trying to establish here is the classic case of self-defense. We know Clodius died, and Milo's alive, but he's defending Milo. So he's going to say that, a fight broke out, Clodius died, and it was simply Milo traveling that day and Clodius who had the intent of committing the murder. Right. All right. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for the distractions. I hope you're all doing well. And subscribe. Enjoy. Wilson. All right. Okay. We got to end this. All right. Miss you guys. See ya.